Right, hello guys. So I guess I'm gonna continue the Invincible season 3 reviews. On episode 2, kind of get a bit of a flashback for this guy, the boss, who is just treating Mark like crap right now. I'm kind of get to see how he kind of got that mindset of him stopping like a super, then trying to do some terrorism. He ends up basically sacrificing his body to make sure this bomb doesn't affect thousands, but 70 people still die because at the end of the day, he's just human, so he could only do so much, and going through this, man, I'm surprised he survived that. But I guess he already had some really good technology to mostly fix him up. He just feels so limited, but then he realizes that I guess they tried to use these villains after they've captured them and actually make them do good. So like Suicide Squad. So they have him locked up and they just basically control him, and he basically gets to, I guess, confront him and stuff and see. And I guess he kind of views using evil, necessary evil, to actually achieve more good. And now he comes back to present day where he's fighting Mark. So I guess they're trying to make us understand why he's doing what he did. Yeah. And Mark just doesn't agree because these people did such awful things. Then he killing his friends, and how they could still possibly do it. And he's just going so all out on flipping Mark. It's just crazy. I don't fully blame him because of, Omni-Man and the amount of people that he killed. I probably feel like he failed when he wasn't able to stop Omni-Man. So now Mark is just lashing out, even though he's the one who attacked first, to be honest, not Mark. He was just trying to have a conversation with him. Like, what he's doing is wrong. It's not like he tried to punch him or anything. Yeah. And then he basically reveals that in front of all of the other superheroes, and they end up backing Mark because what he's doing in front of me is just so wrong. So they decide to fight with Mark. Yeah. But then Mark just, he basically has something planted inside of him. So he basically has control of Mark. He doesn't have free will. And it's slowly killing him when it gets broken. Yeah, it just gets out of hand, but they stop it. Then he goes home and tells the family what happened. Yeah. And that kid just wants to. He kind of agrees with how Mark said, like, if he tried to do anything to his family again, he'd kill him. And the kid doesn't fully understand what killing truly means and how bad it can be for superheroes. Yeah. And it just makes me imagine if Omni-Man was raising him. Oh my god, he'd be a killer. It'd be terrible. He'd be worse than his father. He wouldn't have no emotion. And I feel like if someone tried to harm a family member, he'd be even worse than Mark. What he did at the end of season 2, and their relationships slowly growing. It's like she doesn't know how to truly feel after what she heard from the previous episode with her future self, and but Mark does have true feelings for her. He always did. But then there was Amber and all that. They kind of talk about their relationship ties and what kind of stops them from actually being together and just being friends. But yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. And then this is when Immortal was talking with the team, and a lot of them just are not happy with what they did to Mark. So some of them end up leaving, and Immortal, he basically says, "You either deserve to be here, or you should just leave." And yeah, a lot of them decide to leave, having like a huge argument. Kind of turns into like a civil war kind of scene to me, where the whole team's just arguing. Yeah, but yeah, a few of them eventually decide to leave anyway. Like, this guy's just putting heads with him, and he actually makes some of them actually leave because they feel like what they did wasn't right, and then they're the ones who are basically left after the argument. Yeah. Then Mark kind of tells them what happened because he was basically affected. Like, he literally got controlled by one of the villains, and now finding out that the villains are literally set free after what they did to him. Like, man, makes him kind of a bit angry, but he doesn't really blame Mark. And Mark saying like maybe he should have actually killed him, Sinclair. But his best friend that he's known since he was 5 years old, like he says, like that's not him, that's not Mark. And then he just says, if you do that, you just basically be worse than him. You know, something that Batman would say if he was around. And if Captain America was in this, he'd be on Mark's side. trying to control the superheroes. Like, it's literally a lot worse than what was happening in Civil War, where they had to sign something. Where in this, literally, they have something inside of them, and if they don't listen, it literally hurts them and possibly kills them. So yeah, Captain America would 100% be on Mark's side. Yeah, just like the others. And I guess he decides to go because, the girl, of course. Because I feel like he would have stayed if she didn't went. Yeah. And she's trying to move on from Omni-Man by going on a date, and it just gets a bit awkward for her. But he seems like a nice enough guy to give her a chance. Yeah. She's in college uni. He's kind of having a conversation with the villains. So actually, they could actually be working together to replace some of the missing teammates. And this guy is just like, did we make a mistake with Mark? And said, and he just basically says by the end of the episode that like Sinclair did what he did because it's possibly the only way to truly get the right results to actually save the world. Yeah. Because there's been the good guy and then there's saving the world. And that's kind of how he puts it anyway. And this is when he first got his power. Yeah. When he first became the head to where he is now. Yeah. When he first met Omni-Man and all that. Yeah. Even he didn't trust Omni-Man from the very beginning, which, like, a superhero like him is just gonna come out of nowhere and you're gonna trust him straight away. Hell, people didn't even trust Superman. Like the government didn't even trust Superman when he like first came to Earth. Yeah, he's gone around saving people, but they didn't trust him. Like Lois's father, like she didn't trust Superman. Because in some stories, like Lois's father is a part of the government and doesn't really trust Superman and tries to take him down sometimes. Yeah, it's basically the same for him. And in this case, he was actually right for what he ends up doing. So it's kind of like with what's happening with Mark is like Omni-Man all over again, but not on that level where he's going around killing people, but not following orders. Yeah, and he doesn't want something like that to happen again, because Mark's only young, but he's not like his father, but he has the same anger inside of him now. Yeah, but he has good people around him. Like he ended up with Eve anyway, so he's obviously not going to be a bad guy. Yeah, he's got people he cares about, but I guess if he ended up losing them, I don't know, maybe that could push him over the edge. But right now he's gonna have a relationship with Eve, finally, after 3 seasons. Well, 2 full seasons and the first 2 episodes of I guess season 3. Yeah, they're finally together. About time. See if that relationship can last. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for this episode. I'll review episode 3 another day. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and peace.